among the quote-unquote sects within Islam. It is outside Islam altogether. Because one of the basic points of Islamic belief is that there was no prophet coming after Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He was the last of the prophets. So for Mirza Ghulam Ahmad to claim that he was a prophet of Allah, this puts him and his followers out of Islam immediately. Now, a branch of his followers, they claimed, well, no, really, Ghulam Ahmad was just a reviver of the religion, a reformer. He wasn't really a prophet. It's a dispute which developed after his death, which led to a split in the movement. However, if he claimed he was a prophet and he has his books and claiming revelation, etc., etc., if you believe in him, even though you say, I'm only thinking of him as a reviver, you are out of Islam. Because this man was an enemy of Islam. He was a disbeliever in no uncertain terms. And this is why, for example, the Rabita, the World Assembly, the World League, Muslim League there in Mecca, they declared way back in the 70s that the Ahmadi Qadiani sect is a non-Islamic sect. It's a cult. They have a Khalifa, and they claim the follower, a leader, who has been designated by descendants of Ghulam Ahmed, whatever. They are outside of Islam. Their quote-unquote mosques are in fact temples. They are not considered to be mosques in Pakistan. They're not allowed to call the adhan from there, nor put any symbols, like La ilaha illallah on it, etc., because they are not considered to be a part of Islam at all. The second question we have comes from Dubai, from Anisur Rahman. Dr. Bilal Phillips, I am Anis, 27 years old, unmarried. I'm suffering from several problems. I humbly ask for your help and solution in return. Except Islamic banks, every banking system is based on interest. To work in such banks as an accountant, is it accepted or not in Islam? If not, is there any circumstance under which the earning could be considered halal? Well, as I just finished saying, with regards to our previous letter, to work in a bank which is interest-based, where interest is given, received, witnessed, etc., is forbidden in Islam. It is only acceptable for us to work in the Islamic banks, Islamic Bank of Dubai, Islamic Bank of Abu Dhabi, etc., the Bahrain Islamic banks. These kind of Islamic banks, this is the only systems that a Muslim can legitimately work in. Meaning that those who work there, their earnings are considered to be haram, or prohibited earnings, sinful. These are sins against themselves. And they should be very worried, because the dealing in interest is something which the Prophet ﷺ and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala addressed in very firm and harsh terms. Allah states in the Quran very clearly that He and His apostle have declared war on those who refuse to give up dealing in interest. He said, يَمْحَقُ اللَّهُ الرِّبَا وَيُرْبِي الصَّدَقَاتِ. Allah has removed any good, any blessing from riba, from interest. And He has caused charity to grow in blessings and in reward. They're the two opposite ends of the spectrum. And Prophet Muhammad ﷺ had said that interest has over 70 branches. The simplest branch of which is like a man having sexual relations with his mother. Incest. This is how evil it is considered from Islamic perspective. Not that, of course, the law will be carried out against such an individual, but in the sight of Allah, this is how it is perceived. And what it's saying really is that a Muslim, as he or she would be revolted if somebody suggested to them to have incestuous relations, then similarly, if somebody suggests to them to go work in a bank or to take interest, etc., they should have a similar revulsion. In such a free port like Dubai, I can't preserve my eyes from evil sights always. As an AC helper, that is, he's working to fit, air conditioning systems, etc. Sometimes I work in swimming pools, malls, and the atmosphere of these areas. How will I preserve my eyes from evil sights and my mind from thinking evil? Well, Allah tells us in the Quran, this is from Prophet ﷺ, to tell the believers, believing men, to lower their gaze and protect their privates. Lower their gaze. That is better for them. This is lowering of the gaze means avoiding looking at things which are prohibited. Of course, it's better to get a job which is not going to put you in a situation where you're obliged, you're going to see these things. Because, of course, no matter how strong you are, the more you're exposed to this, it's going to affect you. It's going to eat away at your faith. It's going to destroy aspects of your faith. So it's better to not be in such circumstance. But if one has no choice, the kind of job one does bring one into these circumstances from time to time. Not that the whole job is that case. Meaning that to work at a swimming pool, you're just cleaning swimming pools, that's your job. You work at a hotel in the swimming pool area where people are coming naked or half naked to going swimming. And this is something you're seeing daily. This kind of job, Islamically, we say, don't do it. You shouldn't work in such a case, such a situation. Avoid it. Find another job. No matter how strong you might think you are, this circumstance is going to break down your faith. So, if a person is in a job where on occasion they may find themselves in this situation, then what you have to do is you have to develop the skill of lowering your gaze. That is, looking away, not looking directly at, avoiding looking at things which are displeasing to Allah. Once you develop that, then of course your mind will be more in your control, because your mind is only going to mull over and think about things which you have taken in through your eyes, right? So if you can control your eyes, and this is part of the salah, part of the prayer that we're doing is teaching us control of our sight. When you pray, you're supposed to look at the point of prostration. Why? Training you to keep your sight, not looking all over the place, left, right, up, down, what's going on all around. No. You focus only on the point where you're going to prostrate. When you go into ruku' in the bowing position, then you look straight down, what is straight ahead of you on the ground. When you're in the sitting position, then you look again at the point of prostration. When you're making tashahhud, then you look at your finger, right? Your finger which may be moving. The point is that you are controlling your sight throughout the prayer. This is training in that control. So my advice would be to go back to your prayer and to do it as it should be done. Also, you must develop the skill of looking away. And in that way, Allah will preserve your mind and your soul from the corruption that you may find yourself exposed to. We have two other questions: watching television, the dish, etc., and also the issue of listening to music. However, time is somewhat short. We'll not be able to go into these in detail, so we will save the answers to Anisur Rahman from Dubai. We'll save them for our next program. We hope that you'll be with us in the next segment of our program, In the Light of Islam. Those of you that would like to contact me, you may write to me at Sharjah Television, P.O. Box 111, Sharjah, UAE. With that, dear viewers, I'd like to thank you again and hope to see you in our coming programs. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.